For you to understand what supply and demand is, you simply need to be able to answer these questions like say, what is supply and demand? What are the types of supply and demand? What is the concept of supply and demand? And lastly, which is the most important one, what is the price cycle? Now, by the end of this video, you're going to understand what supply and demand is, type of supply and demand, concept of supply and demand, price cycle, and most importantly, you're going to see that supply and demand is not support and resistance. Now, before going to this video, if you're speaking professor, my name is Divine, and I'm a student of Happy Forex Academy. What I basically do on this channel is document how I trade, and as well show you the mindset behind my strategy. If you want to see content like this, I want you to like, subscribe, and as well drop a comment. Now, supply and demand. What's supply and demand? I'm going to make this to be very easy for you to understand and very easy for you to relate to what it is in your real life. Whatever I'm teaching here is not magic. So whatever I'm going to explain to you in this video is basically what I understand about supply and demand, and there's always more you can learn from it. So let's get started. Supply and demand, or supply, is simply a zone in the forex market where there's large number of sales order that need to be triggered into the market. Let me rephrase. A supply zones are simply zones where there's large number of sales order. That means institutions, maybe higher audit bank, higher people with large money in the market are putting a sell order in that market. Now, what makes it sell order is that large institutions, hedge funds, big banks, and all of those stuff are putting their sell order at that zone. That will make it a supply zone. So let me rephrase. A supply zone is simply a zone where there is large number of sales order that need to be triggered into the market. Now, what's a demand zone? A demand zone is simply a zone where there is large number of buy orders that need to be triggered into the market. Now, what this means is that institutions, big boys in the market, people who have big monies in the market are putting a buy order at a particular zone. That zone where they're putting that order is referred to as demand zone. Now, what's the difference between supply and demand zone and support and resistance? Now, a support zone are simply zones where buyers are agreeing to buy from. Who are the buyers? Retail buyers like us are agreeing to buy from. And a resistance zone is simply a zone where sellers are agreeing to sell from. So what's the difference between a supply and demand zone and a support and resistance? The difference is this. A supply zones are simply zones where there's large number of sales order that need to be triggered into the market. A resistance zones are simply zones where sellers are agreeing to sell from. That means areas where sellers are agreeing to sell from is referred to as what? Support. Resistance zone. Why am I confusing myself? Resistance zone. And demand zones are simply zones where there's large number of buy orders that need to be triggered into the market. Now, a support zone is a zone where buyers are agreeing to buy from. Why? If a buyer says he's going to buy from here, another one says he's going to buy from here, another one is going to buy from here, that zone is referred to as a what? Support zone. If a seller says you're going to sell from this place, sell from this place, sell from this place, that point is what? A resistance zone. But when it comes to supply and demand, you want to know what it is. I don't want to emphasize. I'm not going to talk too much about it anymore. Type of supply and demand. Now, for you to understand type of supply and demand, you simply need to understand price cycle, because what I'm going to explain here is going to make you to easily understand price cycle. What I'm going to explain here as well too is going to make you understand price cycle. This one is going to make you understand price cycle. The reason I didn't jump straight into this price cycle is because for you to understand price cycle very well, you simply need to have understood what supply and demand is, type of supply and demand, and concept of supply and demand. Now, what are the type of supply and demand? Having known what supply and demand is, or what supply and demand is, we have to be able to know what types of supply and demand is. Now, there are basically about 4 types of supply and demand in the forex market. Now, these things, what I'm teaching is only applicable to forex market. It's not applicable to economics, because different types of supply and demand are available as an economist. But as a technical analyst or as a forex trader, what are the type of supply and demand? Now, we basically have about 4 types of supply and demand. We have the what? Rally, base, rally. We have drop, base, rally. We have drop, base, drop. And we have drop, base, we have rally, base, drop. Now, these are the 4 types of supply and demand. And for you to understand it very well, there's 2 types of supply and there's 2 types of demand. So basically, we have 4 types of supply and demand. Now, the first one, which refers to as rally based rally. The rally based rally is simply saying this: there's a rally, there's a base, and there's a rally. Now, the rally based rally is a type of what? Demand. Why is it a demand zone? When price rallies to the upside, goes into a base phase, and then rallies up, this point now is referred to as a demand zone. Do you understand? Is it clear? Now, it's going to get clearer when we start explaining price cycle. Just follow me as we take it step by step. First one, which I said is rally based rally, is a type of what? Demand zone. We have drop based rally, is a type of what? Demand zone. So this two is what? A type of what? Demand. And what is drop based rally saying? It's simply saying drop based rally. And this price dropped, price went into a base phase, and price rallied up. Now this point is what? Demand zone. Are you following? Yes, we are following. So haven't we understood what rally based rally look like? Let's talk about rally. Let's talk about it. Let's go into it deeply. Now we have the rally based rally. What type of supply? What type of demand zone it is? Is it a continuation pattern or a reversal pattern? Now, for us to know if this particular one is a continuation or a reversal, we simply have to reflect back to what it says. It says rally base rally. That means there was a rally, there was a base, and there was another rally. That means it's a continuation pattern. That means whenever you see a rally base rally, it's simply telling you that a price is continually going to go to the what? To the upside. So if price come back to this place, you're simply going to start going to the what? Upside. Having said that, let's talk about drop base rally. Now, if you look at drop base rally, what is it saying? It's saying drop base rally. So what is it? It's a reversal pattern. Price was in a downtrend, price went into a base phase, and then price went up, rallied up. So it's a reversal, that a price that was going down here started going up here. While here, a price that was going up continued going up. So this one is a continuation pattern, and this one is a what? Reversal pattern. So having said that, the 2 types of demand zone we have is what? Rally based rally and what? Drop based rally. And let's look at drop based drop. Now, drop based drop is simply saying that price drops, price based, and price drop. So it's a drop based drop. So this is basically what? Supply. I want to finish. This is basically what? Is supply. Now let's look at this one. Rally based drop. It's simply saying that price rallied, price based, and price dropped. So what is it? Supply zone. Remember, here is the supply, here is the supply. Are we following? We're going to understand it when we're going to explain price cycle. Now, we also need to identify if this one is a reversal pattern or a continuation pattern. And for us to know if it's a continuation pattern, we simply have to hear what it's saying. It's saying that the price drops, it's based, and it was dropped. Drop, base, drop. That means it's a continuation pattern. Now, have rally, base, drop. Price rallied up, base, and drop. That means it's a reversal pattern. A price that was going up went into a base phase and then dropped. Are we clear? Yes, we are clear. Now let's look at the concept of supply and demand. Now, when it comes to concept of supply and demand, we simply want to understand how supply and demand work. What makes a supply, how does it actually work? Now, for us to understand this concept, we need to understand the idea behind supply and demand. Now, the concept here is simply saying that there's a relationship between price and supply and demand. That means there's a relationship between price and supply and demand. And what is this relationship between price and supply and demand? Now, the relationship between price and supply and demand is that when there's high supply of a thing, the price always drop. And when there's high demand of a thing, the price increases. Are we following? The relationship between price and supply and demand is that when there's high supply of a thing, price drops. And when there's high demand of a thing, price increases. Let's for instance say, if for instance we are in the season of say mango, what this means is that mango is everywhere. Everybody is selling mango. This mango is there. This mango everywhere is mango. It's simply that the price of mango is going to be very cheap because everybody is actually seeing mango. But if there's scarcity in mango, like there's no mango, there's low supply. That means there's low supply of mango, and there's high demand for it. There's simply going to be what? The price is going to be high. Let me recap. Let's for instance say, when you go to the market, you'll see mango everywhere, everybody's selling mango, and there's nobody actually buying the mango because everybody's selling it. The demand is not high, but the supply is high. That scenario now is going to make the price to be low because everybody wants to sell out, so we're selling at lower price for everybody to buy, so everybody to buy off the mango. But if you reverse the case that there's no mango in the market, there's low supply of mango in the market, the demand becomes high because everybody wants mango, but they're not seeing it. Now the price increases because it's scarce. I'm going to sell it for a particular amount. Now nobody's going to challenge my price. That's the reason Bitcoin is a bit expensive and very scarce. There's low supply of Bitcoin. Now the price is very high. Is that clear? Now the reason why Shiba or Dogecoin is very cheap is because there's high supply of Shiba coins and there's low demand. The price is very cheap. I hope this make you understand the concept behind supply and demand. So to wrap it up, the concept behind supply and demand is that when supply of a thing is high, the price drops, and when the demand is high, the price increases. Is that clear? That is clear. Now let's go to this one, price cycle. Now price cycle is where you want to pay attention to because this is where the main technical analysis comes in. And I want you to pay very good attention to what price cycle is. Now, price cycle is simply the cycle in which market goes through in the market. That means whenever you come to the market, price is moving in this cycle. That means price moves from one particular phase to the next phase, come back to the next phase. We're going to discuss those phases in this class or in this video. But let me wipe everything so we have enough space to explain this or start with this. This board should not break my head. Price cycle. Now, for you to understand what price cycle is, you have to have in mind that once you hear cycle, it means that it's going round. And I'm going to explain to you the 4 phase that is in this price cycle. Is it 5 or 4? We're going to know in this video. Now, price cycle is simply saying that whenever you come to the market, price is moving in this cycle. Is that price is distributing? Is that price is distributing, or price is what? accumulating, or price is what? Price is what? Expanding, or price is what? Retreating. So what this means that whenever you open the market or whenever you come to the market, is that price is distributing, price is accumulating, or price is expanding, or price is what? Retreating. So these are basically the four phases that you have to see the market in, or the four cycle that we have in the forex market. We're going to be looking at this phase one by one, and how this phase gives birth to the next phase, and the next phase gives birth to the next phase in cycle. Because it's what is called price cycle. Now the first phase, which is the most important phase that you want to go for, because out of all these phases, the most important phase that you want to go for is simply referred to as the what? Distributing phase. Now the distributing phase is the actual movement that price really want to make in the forex market. That means if price is in distributing phase, or if you meet price at the distributing phase, you're already late in the market. So when you want to enter is where price wants to begin the distributing phase. Now, accumulating phase is the phase where price have gone into the distributing phase and price is just resting. Price is just consolidating. It's not really going forward. It's not really going back. Price is just basically flat. So that means price is resting from a distributing phase that price have gone through. Now, when price goes into an accumulating phase, after resting for a while, after being rest, price expands out. It goes into what? Expansion phase. Now, when price expands out, it retreats back and then give birth to what? Distributing phase. That means after price expands and retreats back into a phase, retreats back, it continues what? Distributing phase. Let me sketch it very well here on this board. Now we'll start from this one, accumulating phase. Let's start from the first one. Let's for instance, it comes to the market. Market has distributed to the upside. Market is an uptrend, higher highs, higher highs, and higher lows. Now, after this higher highs and higher lows, price goes into a what? Hey, marker, please. Price goes into a what? Accumulation phase. Price is accumulating, just moving like this, not going anywhere, accumulating. And after a while, price expands to the upside. Now, what have price done now? Price have distributed, rested, that is accumulation, and price are what? Expanded out. Now, if you look at this thing now, it reflects. Sorry. Now, if you look at this thing now, it takes us back to the first phase where we talked about type of supply and demand zone, rally-based rally. Now, what is the main? We are left with expansion and retracement to continue the distribution phase. Now, tell me in the comment section, is this a supply zone or a demand zone? I'm waiting for you to type. Remember, I was talking about this when we were talking type of supply and demand zone. Put your answer in the comment section. Now, looking at this now, you're seeing that price have distributed, price have accumulated, and price have what? Expanded. What's the next cycle that price wants to do? Retracement. And where do you want price to retrace back to? Into this. Why are you talking like this? Into this what? Our demand zone. So what we want to basically see price do is once price come back to this demand zone, retrace back, and then distribute. It's as simple as that. Price was in distributing phase, price went into a resting phase or accumulation phase, and price expanded out of this phase, and then retraced back into this zone, and then expanded and then distributed to the upside. Now, the most important part of this game or this type now is this part. This, what's it called? Distributing phase. Because why? If price is accumulating, you don't know where price is going to go to. You don't know if price can say, I don't want to expand to the upside, I want to expand to the downside. What do you want to do? You have to simply wait for price to trace back to this zone and then sell. You already know that a rally-based drop is simply a supply zone. Exactly. So basically, there are basically about four cycles in supply and demand in price cycle. God help me. There are basically about four cycles in price cycle. First, price distributes. Secondly, price accumulates. Thirdly, price expand out. And when price expand out, it tells us if that zone that price expanded out from is a supply or is a what? Demand. In this scenario now, price was simply a what? A demand. Flip back to what we explained, types of supply and demand. We have the rally based drop, and the rest of them. In this scenario, we are seeing a rally, a base, and a rally, which simply says the what? Demand zone. So what we want to do is one price retrace back into this zone and then expand to the upside. Now, this thing is not always as beautiful as it looks like on this place now. This retracement comes with a lot of manipulation that was going to make you colo. This is where you have to put in what they call the concept of liquidity. I'm going to explain that in my next video, not in this video. Now, having understood this price cycle, if you have to look at another example now, let's say price was distributing to the downside. Let's say price was distributing to the downside and price went into an accumulation phase. That means price was just doing like this. Price is not going to go anywhere, just like this. And price does what? Expand to the upside. What does this tell you? A price that was distributing, accumulating, expansion to the upside leads us into what? A drop-based rally. So here becomes a what? Demand zone. So what we want to simply do is want price to retrace into this zone and then move to the upside. Remember, this is what? Distributing phase. Price is distributing at this phase, giving us higher high and higher low. Here, price was distributing and giving us lower lows and lower high. So this is drop-based rally. Now, this point is what? Retracement. We want price to retrace back into this our demand zone and then we look for what? Distributing what? Phase. So that means whenever you come to the market, is the market is distributing to this side, or market is resting, or accumulating, or market is expanding, or market is what? Retracing. Remember, you only want to pay attention to what? Distributing phase. You cannot tell where price is going to expand out to. You're not a market maker. You cannot tell if price is going to expand to the downside because price can have it like this. Price can say distributing, resting, or accumulating phase, and then expansion to the downside. So when price expands, they're simply seeing that price was telling you that a drop, a base, and a drop, which is a continuation pattern. And what you want to do is continue the downtrend, and price simply retrace back into this zone, and then you sell off. Is it difficult? Comment in the comment section and tell me if it's difficult. Now, in my next video, I'm going to basically see all of this on the chart and be able to identify what it is on the chart. I'm going to use a practical life example of how to identify these phases in the chart. Now, if you find this video very helpful, I'd like you to subscribe, drop a comment, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.